Welcome to the AI for Career Success video overview by Curt Robbins. We're experts at AI coaching and helping professionals like you and your employees upskill in AI.
Today, we're analyzing a major strategic pivot from Netflix. Our deep dive is based on co-CEO Ted Sarandos' interview with Politico, published on March 18, 2026, and we're also incorporating key insights from industry analyst Emma W. Thorne's piece that came out the very same day.
So, to really understand what's happening, we've broken down this new strategy into 5 key themes. Think of this as a roadmap to where Netflix is headed next and what it means for the entire media landscape.
All right, let's set the stage. Just weeks after that massive bid for Warner Bros. Discovery was abandoned, Netflix is signaling a really significant change in direction. They're moving away from these huge U.S. acquisitions, and instead, they're doubling down on organic growth in what has quietly become their most important market. And you don't have to guess at this. Sarandos' own words to Politico lay it out pretty clearly. This isn't just about picking a new region to focus on, it's a fundamental realignment. He's stating that the company's future growth is now inextricably linked to its success within the European Union.
So, let's get into the data that underpins this whole strategy. Netflix is building a very specific case for its commitment to Europe, and these numbers are central to the story they're telling both investors and, as we'll see, regulators.
The first number is a big one, $13 billion. That's the amount of capital Netflix has invested in creating European content over just the last decade. It's a figure that's clearly designed to show they are a serious, long-term player in the region.
But it's not just about spending money. The company is also emphasizing its deep collaboration with over 600 independent European production companies. And what's key here is that most of these partners are small and medium-sized businesses, suggesting a broad ecosystem-level impact.
And of course, that investment has a direct economic footprint. It supported approximately 100,000 jobs for cast and crew across the continent. This positions Netflix not just as a content buyer, but as a major employer in the creative sector.
So when you visualize it like this, you can really see how the pieces fit together. That $13 billion investment flows to over 600 partners, which in turn supports 100,000 jobs. It's a very deliberate narrative about becoming an indispensable part of Europe's creative economy.
Okay, so how does this massive investment translate into political capital? Well, Sarandos is taking these numbers directly to Brussels. He's leveraging this economic impact to lobby for a very specific type of regulatory environment.
His argument to EU officials is really twofold. First, he's asking for simple, predictable, consistent rules across the entire bloc. He wants to avoid a messy patchwork of different national regulations. Second, and this is quite interesting, he's trying to reframe the competitive landscape. He's arguing that YouTube is a direct competitor for viewership and should be regulated like a media company, not just a social media app.
Now, let's dig into the engine that actually drives Netflix's massive content machine. It's not a giant, centralized factory. It's a sprawling network of independent creators, and understanding this is crucial to understanding their whole model.
Analyst Emma W. Thorne highlights this point perfectly in her commentary. Even for a corporate giant like Netflix, their ability to produce content at scale is completely dependent on this vast indie ecosystem. Their growth is built on the health and vitality of thousands of independent creative professionals.
And that brings us to our final point. And frankly, it might be the most unexpected takeaway from Sarandos' interview. We're seeing a really significant shift in his tone when it comes to the role of movie theaters.
This question, which Thorne poses in her analysis, really captures the industry's collective surprise. Sarandos' new comments are a stark contrast to his previously dismissive stance on theatrical runs, and it's forcing everyone to reevaluate Netflix's long-term strategy.
This quote right here illustrates what Thorne called a gobsmacking shift. When Sarandos talks about a much more creative relationship with theaters, he's signaling a potential future of hybrid releases, new deal structures, and a whole new level of flexibility for filmmakers and exhibitors.
So, to summarize, these 5 pillars really form the core of Netflix's evolving European strategy. We're seeing a clear pivot from U.S. mergers to deep organic growth in Europe. They're using their investment as leverage with regulators, all while depending on the indie ecosystem and, surprisingly, opening the door to a new relationship with theaters.
Thank you for watching. This is where we teach you AI and help you get smarter than your competition. If you like these videos, use the QR code at the beginning of this video to buy us a coffee or hire us to coach you or your employees in AI. Please subscribe to the AI for Career Success YouTube channel and like, comment, and share to help us reach a wider audience.